The state of South Carolina's rules on parental leave don't specifically address parents who have a stillborn child. This causes an issue for some families in our state. Our Maitane Orue spoke with a parent who experienced this.
Even though you're giving birth to a child that's not able to come home with his parents or loved ones, you're still delivering a child.
Tania Conyers experienced a stillborn birth at just 17 years old.
For the hospital to explain to a 17-year-old little girl that you're being discharged but your son is not going home was kind of hard for me to process.
A stillbirth is when someone gives birth to a baby that has no signs of life.
A baby at 20 weeks, or if the number of weeks of gestation is unknown, they cut off at 350 grams. That no longer has cardiac activity, spontaneous movement, any pulsation through the umbilical artery.
Dr. Beth Cook, an OBGYN, said someone who suffers a stillbirth are still going through the same pregnancy and birthing process as someone who gives birth to a healthy baby.
That process still is like an induction for any other labor. You're ripening the cervix because it's not prepared for labor. We're initiating contractions. They may have to have IV pain medication or even an epidural because that pain is still labor pain. And they're still pushing the baby out. They're still suffering the trauma and consequences of delivering that baby.
But the parent of a stillborn baby also has the added burden of grief.
I was depressed and I was sad. I kind of isolated myself from family and friends, locked myself in a room, and I cried because I could not understand what to do next.
Conyers said the grieving process for her took more than a few months because she was also trying to understand what had happened. Cook says it's not only the grief, but the PTSD that someone can go through when going through pregnancy again.
They're going to be very worried and very concerned till they get to the end. And there's going to be a lot of, kind of post-traumatic stress from that initial situation that they've been through.
Earlier this week, the South Carolina Attorney General's office issued an opinion stating that the law that requires paid parental leave includes stillbirths. Advocate groups talked about how important this paid leave is for people dealing with a stillbirth.
We made the phone calls, and that's why we were able to rally Representative Collins and get the folks together to really look at that law again and make the appropriate changes so that, again, folks that give birth, whether it's a live birth or a stillbirth, are still eligible for the benefits and, frankly, the care that they need.
Conyers says the paid leave is important because no matter what, bills are still going to come and need to be paid.
And you're saying, no, you're not going to get paid for maternity leave because you don't have a child. But I still went through the same process as a mother that gave birth.
To clarify the law, Representative Neil Collins says he plans to file legislation that would clarify the state code. In Charleston, Maitane Orue, Live 5 News.